Hello and welcome to episode 113 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is, what is your point of difference? Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trin. Now, I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you're listening to this podcast show. If you're walking, if you're driving like I am at the moment, I generally love listening to podcasts while I'm driving to places. But regardless, I wanted to do this podcast, but more so I hope you learn something, or I hope you're learning something every single day, right? But today's topic is money-making industry. That's a highly competitive. The dating industry, right? Sex, women and dating, very, very highly competitive. The other industry that's super competitive is the fitness industry. Now, as an online trainer, as an online coach, it is getting harder and harder and harder to grow your business. It's probably getting harder to get more leads, and you may have experienced that. Things that you did previously aren't working anymore. Things like tactics that business coaches will teach you how to generate $20,000 of clients every single month using a huge opportunity ad or an application ad. Those things aren't working anymore, and I'll tell you why. It's because inside of the Online Trainers Podcast, I've spoken time and time again about staying ahead of the trend, doing the things and innovating to stay relevant, to stay new, to stay fresh. Because when you're ahead of the trend, you're ahead of the pack. Your advertising is going to be new. It's going to be highly innovative, right? But when you're behind the trend, you're following what all the other trainers are doing. The marketplace has already seen thousands and thousands of those adverts, so they tune out because they know that as soon as they put their number in, they're going to get hassled 100 times to buy a program. And we see this inside the online trainer space every single day, which is why I get a ton of messages every day going, Lynn, I'm stuck. I've been burnt. I can't grow my business. Things that I did isn't working anymore. And here's the truth. If you're listening to this podcast show and you're thinking about growing your business on a tactic, that's a very, very bad move. A tactic is an ad / huge opportunity / I'm going to call you, an application. Because at the end of the day, tactics only last. They're very temporary. If you want to build a business, a sustainable business, and why I'm saying this is because I truly believe that the online training space, there's a lot of money to be made, but it's highly competitive, highly saturated. Okay? If you take the approach of thinking about being the best expert that you can be, if you take the view that you are a holistic coach, not just a trainer, not just a rep counter, not just a macro giver, right? But the people that you're actually looking after, you take complete responsibility for their lives, their hopes, dreams, and desires, you will win the game. It is as simple as that, because then you'll start to strategically innovate on a different level. You'll start to be able to innovate and come up with new ideas, new processes. You'll be able to hire new coaches, bring on new programs in order to help your niche market get the results that they really desire. And the first question that you need to ask yourself, remember, in the Online Trainers Podcast, if you've been listening to the show, I always say that business is a game of problem solving. Your ability to solve problems will be your ability to get paid. The more problems you solve, the more money you'll get paid. The harder the problems you'll solve, the more money you get paid. The problems that you're solving that nobody else is solving, you'll get paid a ton. Now, unfortunately, inside the fitness industry, we have problems that are getting solved by millions of people, millions of trainers, millions of companies, supplement companies out there. They're also solving the same problem. And that problem is fat loss. You're against Herbalife, you're against supplement companies, you're against Jenny Craig, you're against all these meal service plans, and yet you're solving the same problem, and then you're wondering why people aren't paying for your product and service. If I was looking to lose weight, I'd buy that 12-week program from Kayla Eat Science, $29 or whatever it is on an app, $9.99 a month, then pay you $1,000. And here, there are false promises by these business coaches who are teaching you tactics, who are selling you the dream of charging $1,500, $5,000, when in fact, the business model is not completely correct. And the fact is, you can charge $1,500, $5,000, $10,000 for coaching. You can. It's completely doable. But you can't do it based on the fact that if your business model competes against solving the same problem that other companies do for a lot cheaper. You can't solve the same problem and expect to charge $10,000. That's just not going to work. Good luck with finding clients. So the podcast topic for today is what makes you completely unique. And the thing here, the biggest gem I can give you, if you want to start paying and differentiating yourself, you have to look at what problems you're solving. What does your niche market want? What do they actually want? And why do they want it? And when you get down to that core, everything changes. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're in the skinny guy market. You help skinny fat guys get lean, get muscular. Now, if you're solving the problem of getting lean, getting muscular, great. You're going to be up against guys like Vince Del Monte. You're going to be up against supplement companies that promise all these things, right? They're all promising the hopes, the dreams of getting bigger, leaner, stronger. And they're all doing that at $49, $59, $69. And so the chances of you charging $500 isn't congruent to them. Therefore, you're going to get the excuses like, I don't have enough money. I'll come back. I'll see. Let me think about it. All these answers are pretty much no. They're no. Never been a time that I've had, can I think about it, come back to me the next day and gone, yep, I'll buy it. Very rarely. And why this is because they don't see why you're different or why you are unique inside of their eyes and why and what problem you're trying to solve. But, however, let me ask you a question. Let's consider this. Let's consider that you were in the market to help these skinny guys solve their problems and get towards their hopes, dreams, and desires. Now, if you think about a skinny guy, what does he really want? And why does he really want that? It's just asking these better questions. What does he want? He wants more muscles. Okay, why? Why does he want that? Because he thinks that by having more muscles, he's going to have more respect, more confidence. His social status is going to be improved amongst his friends, his peers. He's probably going to get laid more. He's probably going to get a higher paying job. He's probably going to, he's going to have a lot more self-worth. All these things come across it. And so what I'm trying to teach you today is if you target the why, you're not targeting fat loss anymore. Why don't we just call a spade and actually help him get to what he actually wants and create a product and service or a program around helping him get more women. Here's my 12-week system on how you can increase your confidence and get more women. And how we do this. Number one, women are going to judge you. Most women will judge you by your physical appearance. So step number one, we need to get you into shape. Step number two, we need to work on your mindset, your confidence. Because a lot of the times, when I get you big, buff, and strong, you're still thinking inside of your mind that you're still skinny, and therefore you're still operating as a skinny twig. Step number three, I'm going to show you, we're going to run through a 1-week, 2-week phase on how you should dress, what smells you should use. Because we've done our surveys, we've got data, right? We've got data on what smells women are really attracted to, depending on the type of women that you want to attract. Step number 4, we've got 4 weeks of confidence building and how you're actually going to approach women without being sleazy and how you're going to get your first couple of days. Now that is innovation because that is solving the problem. This problem is connection. And here's the good news. I'm going to give you the good news because when I first thought about this, I thought, holy crap, I'm not a dating coach. I don't deal with confidence. I don't know mindset. And the fact is you don't have to know about these things. You need to understand who you need to recruit. Because you see, in the game of innovation, entrepreneurship, growing your fitness business, it's stepping outside and it's trying to be unique. It's trying to be different. But in order for you to do that, all you need to do is problem solve and go, okay, if this is the problem that I'm solving, if I'm going to help more skinny guys get bigger, buffer, and have more women and more confidence, who do I need on my team? Who do I need on my side? What do I need to know? And inside of that game, then you can start to begin to innovate. And you step away from putting putting away your personal training hat and you put on your coach's hat and your entrepreneurship hat. And that's how you're going to build and grow a company. By recruiting the right people inside of your team to help you solve the problems that you're going to get paid big bucks for. There is no $59 ebook. There's no $59 course. There's no $59 or free YouTube system that's going to show this skinny guy how to pick up women, have more confidence in his life so that he can live a much more fulfilled and better life. And if you understand that this is what society is, and society has a ton of problems that need solving, yet there is a lack of people thinking strategically and a lack of people bringing together people, I'm telling you that the top 1% of people who think like this are making 90% of the cash. And that 99% of people out there are fighting for 10% of the cash. And that's the marketplace that the fitness industry is in, where there's just going to get more, there's going to be more and more people fighting for the same amount of 12-week programs for fat loss training. This is what Charles Darwin talked about in terms of survival of the fittest and evolution. This is your ability to evolve as a thinker. This is your ability to evolve and start to innovate. Because if you want to create a movement and you want to use health and fitness, you have to look at things in a holistic way. So with that being said, I want to leave you with this message. What is your unique selling proposition? What's so different about you? And if I was to pay you $5,000, what would I get? And would it be worth it? Not in your eyes, would it be worth it in my eyes? That if I paid you $5,000, I felt, holy crap, I'm getting the good end of the stick. You got the shit end of the stick. And if you can answer that question, you will win the game. And with that being said, please go and share this episode with a trainer, a coach, a friend, to keep you accountable, to make sure that you implement, because it's not about listening and consuming more information. It really isn't. It's about taking action and doing the work. It's time to go all in. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the next podcast episode.
Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes, and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks, and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients, and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.